Good evening, all. We, on behalf of the SRECAA Alumni Association and the Department of Information Technology, welcome you all for the 86th webinar talk, B School and Entrepreneurship Opportunities. We welcome our principal man, speaker of the day, Mr.Prabhu of 2009 batch IT, faculty members, current students, and all our friends. Mr.Prabhu, after his completion of B.Tech IT, he has completed his MBA from IIM branch in 2014. After that, he has worked in various industries, namely IT, power, kitchen robotics, government consulting. His experience ranges from software development, power, trading, new product development, accounts management, inside sales, B2B sales, and government consulting. He managed teams of small sizes and provided excellent results in a high growth startup. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, sir. I'm Prabhu. Good evening, everyone. Let's start by talking about B School. Both B School and entrepreneurship are interlinked. That is why I combined two topics in one session. I just want to kindle you all of you to go to entrepreneurship. That is the motive of this session. Let's look at why an engineer should do an MBA. So as an engineer, you know how to build a product, you know coding, you know problem solving, but you might know little about how a company or a business operates. So you have good problem solving skills. You can you can solve customer problems, but you might not know how to make money out of it. As an engineer, you have very little exposure to financial concepts. Understanding of financial concepts is very important for running a business successfully. So that will also be taught in your MBA. You might not know how to recruit people, sell products or market products, create market for products. That will also be taught in your MBA course. So there are many PG courses. Why someone should choose a MBA? Let's see the reasons. So first important step in any admission process of PG courses, entrance exam. So CAT, there is CAT for MBA, GATE for ME, and other exams for UPSC. So these are the major exams for PG courses. But when you compare CAT with GATE, CAT is relatively easier. CAT syllabus is just 10th mathematics and 10th English. But in case of GATE, you have to study all the papers in your engineering. Then only you can score high. But the effort which goes into GATE or any other exam is very high. But for CAT, all you need is just 12-month preparation on your 10th mathematics and your 10th English. That's all. Then after you finish your MBA, you get a huge elevation in your career. So you get management roles just after your MBA. You would be managing teams of 6 to 20 people. Then MBA is just a 20-month course. If you start in June 2022, you would finish the course by Feb 2024. So it's just a 20-month course, and it gives a huge elevation in your career. And there is collateral-free education loans available for doing MBA in India in an IIM. There are 20 IIMs. If you get admission in one of these, you will be given a collateral-free loan from various banks. You don't need your father's money or your own money to study this course. And after MBA, you get assured high-paid jobs. High-paid jobs are very less in our country, and you'll be once you get the admission, you are assured of high-paid jobs in MBA course. Next, where should you do your MBA? So it should be done in a very good institute, because quality matters a lot in MBA than quantity. So if you do MBA in top 30 institutes in NIRF or in any one of the IIMs, it would be good, and you will be assured of all the good things in life. Let's look at when you should do an MBA. So if you are in a final year, you can try as a fresher. If you're just out of the college, you can try. But ideal thing would be with 2 to 3 years of WebEX in any corporate setup. That would be ideal, because as a fresher, getting into a top B school is slightly a tougher job. But with experience, you will be able to get into the MBA easily. And if your age is 25 or below, that would be ideal. By 27 or 28, you would finish the career and settle in a life. Then what do you get from this MBA course? You get world-class professors who teach you. For example, half of my courses were taught by professors from US universities. They come here, they stay here for 1 or 2 months, and then they teach the course and go. Then there is peer learning from the best brains in India. All these top institutes choose the best brains. So you get to learn a lot from your batchmates. There are around 120 to 400 people you can learn from. So daily, every day is a learning day. You'll be doing a lot of group projects. In group projects, you will get to learn a lot of things from your classmates. Then you get contacts of industry veterans, investors, founders. So the MB schools are in constant touch with the industry. So all of them will be interacting with the students, and through that you can get their contacts. Then guest lectures. Every week a guest lecture is conducted by industry veteran. You can get interact with them. You can get a lot of knowledge and their contact also. And they have a huge alumni network which is spread across industry and spread across the world. So let's say there is a MBA B school which is 10 years old. So let's assume there were 120 students in each batch. So 120 to 10, 1,200. There are 1,200 people spread across India and various key managerial positions. So through them you can get jobs. Through them you can get investments. You can get expert advice. You can get co-founders. So to get into an MBA course, the admission process is important. Let's see how the admission happens in B schools. It consists of 3 parts: a CAT, a written test, and your personal interview. So let's look at CAT first. CAT is a common admission test which is conducted every year in November last week. Around 2.5 lakh people right across India, and results are released in January. So it is an online test which is conducted in major Indian cities, including Chennai and Coimbatore. So anybody can write. Anybody in final year or anybody who graduated write CAT exam. This is how the pattern looks like. The split up is like verbal ability and reading comprehension. You'll get 20 to 26 questions. It will test basically your grammar and comprehension skills. Data interpretation and logical reasoning. This will test your logical reasoning skills and data interpretation skills. Data interpretation is nothing but your graphs and tables. They'll be giving graphs and tables, and questions will be asked based on the data. So you have to interpret that graph and table and answer those questions. That is also around 20 to 24 questions. Then you have your quantitative ability, which is completely based on 10th standard mathematics. All you have to do is apply these 10th standard mathematics concepts, which are very simple. And mostly you will get 65 to 75 questions, and you will be given a time of 2 hours. Then once CAT results are out, based on the CAT score, the shortlist will be posted on IIM websites, and people will be called based on their CAT score for a written test and personal interview. Both will happen on the same day. Unlike CAT exam, this will happen only in major metros like Chennai and Bangalore. So for written test, they will give you a topic and you have to write your arguments. That's it. It is like an essay. Earlier they had GDs. GDs were really chaotic. That is why they replaced GDs with a written test. It is just another form of GD. So all your arguments should be logical, and it should be backed by data if possible in this test. Next is personal interview. Personal interview will be conducted on the same day. It will have a panel of professors from various B schools and IIMs and professionals from industry. They will test your clarity of thoughts, honesty, ethics, communication skills. It will last for 20 to 35 minutes. This is one of the important thing. Some IIMs give extra weightage to score in personal interview. So tips for written test and personal interview. Uh, People appearing for CAT should start the preparation 12 months before, and they should start the preparation for written test and personal interview also 12 months before, because once after you get shortlisted, preparing for these two is very tough. So you should be updated for past 12 months. First, they should subscribe to business dailies like Mint, Business Standard, or Business Line. Then they should watch talk shows which are telecasted between 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. On all national English news channels. And they should, if they are going to any institute like Time, IMS, or anything, they should attend more mock interviews, and they should keep themselves updated for doing well in written test and personal interview, because they might ask any question under the sun. And if you are blank, it will be seen as a negative. And in written test as well as personal interview, people should not lie. They should be very, very, very honest. This honesty is tested in all stages of the selection, because you will be handling a lot of money in your MBA job, and you should the trust and ethics are most important thing in a business. If a business loses the trust, it will lose all the value. The share value will come down to zero, and then the company will be wiped out of the market, and all the investments will be gone. So there are many companies which lost all their investments. For example, Satyam. So they did a fraud in accounting, and they lost all their value, and they had to sell the company to Mahindra. So in MBA, the honesty and ethics will be tested at all the selection stages. The final selection will be based on your 10th score, 12th score, B.Tech score, work experience, CAT score, written test score, personal interview score. Even if you have a very average score in 10th, 12th, and B.Tech, you can still get into an IIM by doing well in CAT, written test, and personal interview. So there are 20 IIMs, each give different weightages to these 7 factors, and do the selection. So if you do well in the CAT, written test, and personal interview, you will be able to crack one of these IIMs. If you have very good 10th, 12th, and BE score, you can get into IIM Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Kozhikode, and Lucknow. These are all top institutes. It is very tough to get in if you have very good 10th, 12th, and BA score. If by doing well in written test and personal interview, you can get into these top institutes. They are not only top in India, they are top in the world. This is how the placement looks like in an IIM. This is from my institute, IIM Ranchi, for the year 2019-21. The average salary itself is 14.69 lakhs, and the highest is 26.5. So if your software job is giving you 4 lakhs, and within 20 months you get an elevation of 10 lakhs, that is 14.69 lakhs, and you get a lot of responsibilities and stuff. So this is the IMBA is the easiest way to get elevation in the career. I'm talking about MBA in this session just to push more people into entrepreneurship, because I see MBA as a shortcut to entrepreneurship. Let's now look at the second topic, that is entrepreneurship. So before going into entrepreneurship, let's look at the Indian economy. So Indian economy is one of the biggest. It is size-wise, it is at number 5, just after US, China, France, and UK. We have very high unemployment rate, and we have very less high-paid jobs. Like you can get a job for 10,000 easily in India, but you can't get a job for 50,000 in India. That is very tough. But in developed countries, there are a lot of jobs with very high pay. And we have very high imports. We import a lot of stuff like electronics, oil, software, equipments, food. We import a lot of things. And we have very less exports when compared to China and other developed countries. that is, we have a lot of problems in our Indian economy. These are all major problems, and the government is working on it, and they can set policies, but the implementation will be done by a special set of people. They are called entrepreneurs. They are called entrepreneurs. They can only fix all these problems. They create jobs. They increase the income levels of the people. By increasing income levels, they alleviate poverty. They pay tax to the government. Their employees pay tax to the government. Their company pays tax to the government. Basically, they make this country richer. They make this country prosperous. They make this country to grow fastly. So being an entrepreneur itself is a service to the nation. We don't need more people in the borders. We need more entrepreneurs to save our country. Money is the power in this era. There is no country which is going to fight with another country in coming decades. Everything will be economic war. So we need more money. We need more job creators. So for all these things, we need more entrepreneurs. So let's look at startups are the drivers of entrepreneurship in India, and let's look at how startup space in India is. It is employing lakhs of people. It is dominated by students studied in government colleges, both state and central, like government colleges like CEG, PhD Tech, IITs, NITs, and stuff. So it is slowly changing now. Private college guys are getting into and they're also getting investments, and they're also able to grow the company. It is a welcome move. And more SREC students to get into this space. And now, never like before, investments are flowing. So investments are coming from all directions. It is coming from US, China, Japan. It is coming from Indian entrepreneurs. It is coming from government. Both the state and central government have schemes to invest in startups. Then SEBI has relaxed the norms for IPO. Earlier, investors were worried about these norms. Earlier, they had a norm like if the company is profitable, then only they can go to share market. And now it has relaxed. Even if the company is not profitable, they can go to share market. So investors are really happy because of this relaxation. And government has various schemes and tax relaxations for startups. Now we have 4,413 funded startups in India, and we have 85 unicorns in India. Unicorn means a startup which has valuation above 1 billion. 1 billion is 7,500 crores. We have 85 such companies in India employing lakhs of people, and we have 2,487 active investors as on 2021 December 31. We have total invested capital of 112 billion USD in all the startups. The startup space is very cheerful, and it is sharing a lot of entrepreneurs. It is the right time to get in. And if you look at unicorns, these are the new unicorns created in 2021. They were small, and they reached this unicorn prestigious unicorn status in 2021. There are more unicorns coming up in 2022 also. India being a big country, more number of unicorns will come. If you look at these companies and their founders, and very less people are from Tamil Nadu. Mostly it is dominated by outside people, mostly North Indians and West Indians. And we should also get into this space and make it more cheerful. So let's look at one important aspect. If you are starting a company, the most important thing is your product or service. So this is an important term. If you to validate your idea. If you have an idea, you should do a minimum viable product. Minimum viable product means it has the basic features and it can be sellable, and it is enough to attract early adopters, customers, and it will help you validate your idea. So if you have an idea, you just build a minimum viable product with basic features. You release it in the market, let customer use it, and let them validate your idea. If the customer is accepting and if they are ready to pay, then you can go ahead with the company. So first step in any startup is minimum viable product. If you have an idea or if you have a solution in mind, you should work on this thing with very little investment. You can put your pocket money, or you can get help from your friends and do this minimum viable product. And most of the products need coding. For coding, you get help from your friends. Being an engineer, you might have a lot of friends who have very good coding skills. Even I would do that. So you get help from your friends who are good at coding and build this product, then go to the next stage. This is the most important thing. First, build the product, then validate your idea. Give it to customers. It can be anybody. It can be anybody who's using that product. It can be your friends, cousins, relatives, ex-colleagues, anybody. Then the product should be product or the solution should be from these industries. Then only you will get the funding. So in this 2021 and 22, these industries are really attractive. Agri-tech, SaaS, fintech, examples like Paytm, BharatPay, EduTech, your Vedantu, Byju's, health tech, your CureFit, Healthify Me, and all. E-commerce, there are many examples like Flipkart, Meesho, and all. EV and auto tech, there are many examples like Ampere, Ather, Ola, and all. So if your product comes under these industries, getting the funding is easier. But even if you have some idea in traditional industries, you can do it. But getting the funding is slightly tougher. Your product or solution should be really, really exceptional, and it should be disruptive. But if you choose products from the product or solution from these industries, getting the investment and everything will be easier. Then there are two styles of running a company. So you have an idea, you can sell, you are selling, you are making money. But so how will you grow the company? To grow the company, you need funds. But if you look at styles of running a company, there are two styles. I took two well-known examples in Tamil Nadu, Zoho and Freshworks. Zoho style is fully private. So what they do is the 100% equity is owned by Mr. Vembu and his wife, and they don't take any funds from outside. They are not listed on stock exchange. They don't get funds from anybody. It's their own funds and it's their own company. They are not Anton from US. He opened an office in Chennai and he attracted talent across Tamil Nadu and employed them at very low salaries. And he was able to build a very good product because of access to talent pool in Tamil Nadu. But Freshworks, which was started a few years ago, had many challenges. He had access to talent, but the talent was costly. Office space was really costly. People now these millennials want a very nice office. They can't work in flat or something. They want a nice office. So for all these things, he could not manage with his own money, revenue coming from the customers. So he had to take external funding. That is why he took funding from various people, and he got funding and mentorship from Google, and that helped him a lot. So if you are starting a company in 2022, it is near to impossible to remain private like Zoho did. Zoho got lucky because they started in 1998 and then the coding talent and other talent was really cheap. Now it is not so. So if you start a company and if you want to remain private, you will remain like an MSME where you will do some 10 crore, 20 crore turnover and you will make a profit of 80 lakhs to 1 crore every year and you will remain so for upcoming decades. You will not grow rapidly. But so if you want to go rapidly, you have to take money from others. There are various avenues to get such money. And let's look at how to get funding. And let's look at types of funding. So there are three types of funding. First one is angel investment. Second one is venture capital, and third is private equity. Angel investment is like very amount. It ranges from 5 lakh to 50 lakhs, and it comes from various angel networks. In India, the biggest network is Indian Angel Network. They have investments across India. It is taken, this angel investment is taken at the starting stage of the company, especially for seed fund. And these angel investors, they grow the company to some level and they take this company to the venture capitalists. They put some money and they grow the company to some level and they take them to private equity guys. Private equity grow these company is and take them to IPO. So this is the flow. First, you get angel investment, then venture capital, then private equity. Finally, you list your company in stock exchange, and whoever wants to stays. Whoever wants to take out the money, they will take out and go. Mostly, angel investments exit before private equity comes in, and private equity players exit after 1 or 2 years of listing. It depends on the company and the investor. Next, So what is angel investment? Angel investment is it's investing in a very nascent stage, and that's very small amount. So that is why they have a network. So you have hundreds of people in a network, and they all put a small amount like 5 to 50 lakhs, and that money is invested in various companies, and they assign the mentors also. So you have a good number of people in the network. You have some money also in the network, and you get both. So if you are a startup and if you have a minimum viable product, you can go to these angel investors and get the mentorship and funding. More than funding, investors give mentorship. Most of these angel investors are from industry. They would have the experience of 20 years, 30 years in mostly in technical side or running a business. So they will give you expert advice. They will handhold you. They will fund you. They will help for getting next round of funding. They will help you in even for small silly things. So that kind of mentorship will happen only at this level. Only from angel investors. Indian Angel Network is a vast network and it is the best in India. I have contacts in them. If you have any idea or problem and you have any minimum viable product, you can approach me. I will connect you with them. Apart from that, you have Native Lead in Tamil Nadu, Chennai Angels, and there are many angel networks. Then let's look at the stages of funding. So there are various stages of funding. First is pre-seed funding. Pre-seed means whatever money the founders put in their own money, like whatever pocket money they have, whatever the savings they have, very little amount they put and they create a product. Mostly these funds are from their parents, relatives, and friends. So this is called a pre-seed funding. Mostly these are all internal funding. Then comes seed funding. Seed funding is the first external funding, and it is taken from the proper investors, mostly angel investors. And for taking that funding, you exchange equity. And without equity, nobody will invest at this stage. But in pre-seed funding, you can get government grants like up to 50 lakhs. You can get from state government of Tamil Nadu and government of India. After getting that and making the product, you can go for seed funding. Seed funding ranges from lakhs to crores. It depends on your product size, market size, and stuff. After seed funding, you get various rounds of funding. That is series A, B, C, D, E. So in these series, you get funding only after showing a very good track of revenue. So when your company is growing and it is showing revenue, they will invest for scaling up. So the scaling up happens only in this series A, B, C, D, E. Some companies take all the 5 rounds. Some companies take only A, B, C. Most companies take A, B only. So after all these taking these rounds, they go to IPO if they are confident. Let's say they are confident of growing company at 50%, and they are confident of getting profitable in within few years. Then they will go to IPO. For this IPO only, they relaxed the norms recently. Because of that, a lot of companies are getting listed in IPO. In 2021 itself, a lot of companies applied for IPO, and now also they have a lot of companies in a pipeline. IPO is getting your IPO stands for initial public offer. You basically, after running the company for a few years, once you're confident, then you go to share market to get the funding. So that is the final round of funding. After that, you can raise as many funds as you want from the share market. So these are the notable IPOs in 2021. Most of you might know all these names: Zomato, Freshworks, Cartrade, Policy Bazaar, Paytm, MapMyIndia. Except MapMyIndia, almost all of them are not profitable, but still they got listed. Freshworks got listed in Nasdaq because their investors and customers are from US and Canada markets. All other companies got listed in NSE, which is in Mumbai. So all these founders became rich. All the employees who had ESOPs got rich. Even Freshworks created almost 500 crore-patis. Most of you might have read in the newspaper. Paytm also created many crore-patis. Cartrade also created many crore-patis. The one interesting thing is MapMyIndia is a challenger for Google Maps. So even if there is a player like Google Maps in India, if you have a very good innovation in your product, and you can still challenge them and make money out of it and become a unicorn. So let's look at two important government schemes where you can get initial funding, basically pre-seed funding. Most of them are grants only. They don't take equity when it comes to government funding. Government of India has a Startup India seed fund scheme. If you check this website, you will get to know all the details. You can apply directly or through an incubator. TANSIN, Tamil Nadu Startup and Innovation Mission Fund, that is done by State Government of Tamil Nadu. If you check this website, startuptn.in, you will get all the details. Again, here you can directly apply. You don't need an incubator for applying to a TANSIN fund. Let's look at what is an incubator. Incubator is a place where hand-holding and mentorship is done for very small startups at very nascent stage. Especially for people in final years or just out of college, they do this hand-holding process. I have listed 4 incubators which are present in South India. We have 2 in Coimbatore. Both of them are very famous. We have Precede Tech and Forge. Both of them are very famous and they're doing wonderful job. We have IIT M Incubation Cell, which is in Chennai. They have IIT Madras Research Park. They have plenty of companies in the park itself. The famous EV company Ather came out of this IIT M Research Park. There are many companies which are coming out of it. So if you have a company or an idea, if you're starting up, if you want help, you can apply for incubation support. We have one incubator in IIM Bangalore also. Most of these IIMs and IITs have incubators. So you can, because of proximity, you can approach these 4 incubators. All of them are doing wonderful job. They will get you mentorship. They will get you technology support, especially labs. If you are writing software, you just need computers. But if you are developing hardware, you need a lot of lab facilities and machines, equipments, and licensed software. For all such things, you can approach these people. You should get enrolled. Especially if you are into hardware, you should get the incubation support. And all these 4 are really good. If you get IIT Madras, it will be really nice. They will get you get access to market, money, everything. So you just need to get the enrollment. That's it. Then if you have an idea or if you have a process in mind, if you have a solution, anything, if you're working on a startup, then you should find your co-founders. Actually, there are few guys who have as a solo founder. That is really rare. If you have both business and technical skills, you can run the business, you can code, then you can run the business alone. But that is very rare. There are very less people. Example is Freecharge founder Kunal Shah. He had no co-founders, but most of the big companies had co-founders. Like Flipkart had Sachin Bansal and Benny Bansal. Byju's have Divya Gokulnath and Baiju Ravindran. Like they're all big companies. Most of the big companies, 90% they have co-founders. And if you have a certain set of skills, you should find a co-founder who has complementary skills. Like if you have you can run a business very well, you can do marketing, sales, and stuff. Then you should find your co-founder who is very good at coding and developing products. So you can have 2 to 5 co-founders. Three is ideal number. Three is ideal number, and all the co-founders should have same mindset. There should not be any mindset deviation. Otherwise, it will create a problem at the later stage. And they have to leave the company. There'll be a lot of problems. Once investors come in, they will check the chemistry among the co-founders. Initially, they will not find out. Later, if they found out, they have to say goodbye to 1 or 2 co-founders. It has happened in many companies. So ensure all the co-founders have the same kind of mindset. And your co-founder doesn't need to be a friend. He can be your senior, he can be your mentor, he can be your junior, he can be your ex-colleague, he can be your relative, he can be anybody. So he doesn't need to be your friend. All they have to do is they should have same mindset. And if you have 2 or 3 co-founders, you should select one CEO among them, and all other co-founders should follow the instructions of CEO. It's always good to have one CEO, even if you have 2, 3 co-founders. After finalizing co-founders, you should finalize the CEO. Then only the company will travel in the right direction. If you have multiple people taking multiple decisions, it won't work. Investors also don't like that, and the company will be affected because of this. There are companies which got investment just because the team was good. Their idea was pathetic, but the team was really good and they did really well in their previous job. Because of that, they got funding, and they made a very big company. So there are many such cases also. The finding a team, finding a co-founder, and realizing a team is most important thing in a startup. Then, for starting a company, there is no age. This is Miss Falguni Nair, who is the CEO of Nykaa. She is now 58. She started her company at the age of 50 with no co-founders. She was an investment banker, and she started this company which sells beauty products online and offline. Within a few years, she grew the company and she made it profitable, and she listed the company in 2021. And on that day, she became rich, and her net worth was 6.5 billion USD. She is the richest self-made billionaire. That too, a woman. She is the richest woman self-made billionaire. There are many women billionaires, but they all inherited wealth from their fathers. But she is self-made. So for starting a company, there is no age barrier, there is no gender barrier. Anybody can start a company. If you have a right idea, if you have a right process, if you have a right team, you can start the company anytime and become rich. India has lot of opportunities. The economy size is very big. Anybody can become rich by selling right products and right solutions. She's the best example for that. If possible, please read her full story. It is an inspiring story. So let's move to. Let's talk about the worst case scenarios. So what if the company you started a company, you had a great idea, you had a great product, you started the company and it is growing, but it is not growing fastly. There are competitors who are catching up. It is not meeting the expectations of investors. What will happen? What will happen? Nothing bad will happen. It will be acquired by some other company or competitor. So there can be in a market like India, there can be only few players in some industries. For example, e-commerce. There can be only Flipkart and Amazon. Everything else will be acquired. So Myntra, there was a company called Myntra which was selling shirts, basically fashion apparels. But they were growing, but they were not able to beat Flipkart's growth. So what they did, it got acquired. So if you have a company and it is growing slowly, if it is not meeting the expectations of the investors, it will be acquired by some other company or competitor. So there is no problem. Even if it is acquired, the founders will go back home with tens of crores. So if you're selling a company, you will go back home with tens of crores. My previous boss, his net worth is now 18 crores. I worked in a startup. It was started by SRM students. Now his net worth is 18 crores. And the company is acquired by Luminous, which is a very big group in Delhi. So because of acquisition, the company grew and his worth also went up. So this is one worst case scenario. The worst of all the worst case scenarios is shutting down the company. So the company is failing. The company is not able to generate revenue. It is not able to get the customers. It is not able to get the investors. In that case, yeah, you have to shut down the company. But what will happen to the founders? So yeah, the founders can go back to a better job with huge pay because all the failed entrepreneurs are most welcome in the job market and they will be welcomed with huge pay. So I know few people who shut down their company and joined as product managers in very big company with huge pay. They must be getting around 24 lakhs to 30 lakhs for that job. So even if you have shut down your company, if your company has failed, there is nothing to worry. Your financial income is always ensured, and you will get a huge pay in other companies. And there is that is one way getting a job and going to the other companies. Next is if your company fails, if you have another great idea, you have another solution. If you can convince your investors, you can start another company. There are a lot of people who failed in their first attempt and succeeded in their second attempt. There are a lot of people. There is a company called Ninja Cart in Bangalore. They are into agri-tech. They are into agri-tech, and in their first startup they failed, but they created very good relationship with the investors because of their team and their ability. They put more money and asked them to start another company, and that company became really big, and it is soon going to be a unicorn. It is based out of Bangalore, and the founding team is mostly from Tamil Nadu. All of them studied in Tamil Nadu colleges, and they're really doing well. So a lot of people succeed in their second attempt, third attempt, and fourth attempt. So even if your company fails, you don't need to worry. If you want a job, if you don't have an idea or a solution in mind, you can go back to a job which is high paying. Or if you have an idea or a product, you can again go to investors and start another company. Then do you lose anything by choosing entrepreneurship? No way. You will the only thing you do after getting into entrepreneurship, gain. You gain skills, you gain experience, you gain knowledge, you gain contacts, you gain money. So even after shutting down the company, you will have good experience, knowledge, skills. At very young age, you got all these things. Because of that, you will be much valued in job market. So by choosing entrepreneurship, you would not lose anything. You will gain. So if you have an idea or product in mind, please start working on that idea and become an entrepreneur. So if you have an idea or product and if you're starting working on starting a company, then you should read these books before starting a company. These two are very important books, Lean Startup and 0 to 1. If you read these two books, you will get a clear idea how to run a startup and grow it. Then there is a TV show, Shark Tank in India, which is on Sony Live. It is English show, and sometimes they speak in Hindi also. You can easily understand. It is what they do is startup founders come and pitch to the investors, and they get rejected or selected. That is the show. And they have the same show in US and Australia also. If possible, you watch those shows in YouTube. It will really give a lot of ideas how to get investments. Then that's all for the session. If you have any questions, you can raise the questions now.
Prabhu?
Yeah.
This is Dr. Shelby. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and it was really very wonderful. You have done a very good job. You have covered starting from the school to how to become an entrepreneur, and really it is very useful. Again, I put a request to address our students in the EDC cell also. Definitely, it could be very useful. Probably Ram Sundar sir, he is available now. Ram Sundar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Definitely we'll arrange, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. And you've touched all the points, starting from the school to finally to reach entrepreneur. Thank you. And thank you very much for your nice words. Thank you.
Yeah, Prabhu. I do have one question to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you mentioned while starting an organization to keep the fund private, as well as second option was to go for public funding. That is through equities or something like that. Which one is good for an organization actually? Like we have already put it, like if you want to be small, be private, and if you want to grow big. So whenever a big is added, the quantum of risk is also big, isn't it? So from a lean startup, how we should go ahead, whether private or we have to go for public fundings.
Sir, remaining private is not our choice, sir. It will be decided by the market and the customers. If customers are paying huge money for our products and we are able to generate enough profits in the initial years itself, it will be easy. But that happens very rarely. It happened in the case of Zerodha, which is a stockbroker, and they didn't get any funding. But apart from that company, there is nobody in the market who are using private funds. We have to be really lucky, and we have to be really particular about the product to get such level of profitability. But it is all remaining private is always safe, and we don't need to answer anybody, and nobody will take away the control from us. But that is not always possible, sir. 99% of the cases need external funding. That is why most of our Indian companies are becoming Chinese companies and US companies. Initially, the efforts were put by Indians, and they grew the company. Finally, somebody with huge money from US and China will come and buy the company. So the Flipkart was an Indian company, and everything was Indian. But finally, Walmart came and put huge money and took the control from the Bansal brothers, like from Sachin Bansal and Benny brothers. After taking away the control, they sent these founders out, and they put their own people from Walmart, and they are running the companies. See, if we are not able to generate enough profits, there is only one way, sir, that is going public. And if we are going public, anybody from outside will take over the company. It is happening with most of the companies. At least if we have right products, we can remain private, but that is not a sustainable option. Our competitors will get the funding and they will grow big and they will kill us. That is the problem. Competitors will get huge funding and they will kill us. The only Zoho got lucky because they grew so big that Freshworks is not able to beat them. If our competitors are getting the funds from US and they're doing a lot of stuff, they will easily kill us. India doesn't have those many investors with the huge money. So we are totally dependent on outside money, and we might lose the control anytime. All we will have is huge money if they come.
Okay, well said, Prabhu. Yeah, one more question from my side. See, usually in Indian culture, our own land culture, like we go for partnerships. And once it is okay and big, we'll go for some private limited formats. And in partnership also, sometimes it will be within the family, like brothers, or they form a trust and run something like that. So which is advisable from your point of view?
Sir, if you are planning to remain private, partnership is fine. Because there is much, there is, if you want external funding, you should have registered that as private limited. If you are doing a family business, partnership itself is fine. But if you register that as private limited, you will have access to a lot of funds and schemes. You can become truly global, because that is universal standard. Private limited is universal standard. But if it is a family business, partnership is fine, sir. All these registrations are only for tax purposes. If the tax is paid, that is fine, sir.
Fine, fine. Great, Prabhu. Very interesting presentation, mind-blowing words, very honest indeed. Thank you so much for putting all these words. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah.
Prabhu, good presentation. Would you mind sharing your contact or LinkedIn profile? So that would be great. So.
Sure. I think I shared my email ID later.
Hello, Prabhu. I am Perumal from CSE.
Okay, sir.
Is there any chance to get a crowd fund to start the startup?
Yes, sir. There are many crowdfunding apps through that you can get. But but through crowdfunding you will not get the mentorship, sir. It is better to approach angel networks for funding, so that we get both funding and mentorship. Once they put somebody their money, they will come and help us grow the company.
Oh, okay.
Mentorship is equally important like funding, sir. That is why people go for Indian Angel Network and other angel networks, sir.
Indian Angel Network.
Yes, sir. Indian Angel Network. We can straight away go to the website and apply, sir.
That's why I'm asking. Okay.
Yes, sir. Otherwise, I will connect you with one investor. You can talk to him, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Prabhu, coming to the first part of your education part, your MBA courses, I have two questions. One, is there an opportunity for the part-time MBA in IIM, which means your distant education kind of thing? And the second thing is, are there some specialized courses other than a full-time MBA that you recommend for the upgradation of the career?
Yes, sir. Actually, there are many part-time courses, especially for the working professionals. But they add value only if you are employed somewhere for 10 years, 20 years. Then only it will add value. Using that, you cannot shift the industry or change the job or something. That is very limited. But if you have very good experience, if you want to get promoted, if you want to take up managerial roles, then you should go for such courses. But mostly that will also be very costly, sir. But if you have avenues for promotion, you should definitely take it. All the IIMs, all the major IIMs offer such courses. IIM Trichy offers that course in Chennai for professionals working in Chennai. For Bangalore-based guys, IIM Bangalore offers such courses, sir. Apart from that, there are online courses also, small courses in business analytics and digital marketing and all. They also give very good value. Provided if it helps in your career.
The audience, if you have any questions, you can put to Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu, Vasanth, and Sendamil Selvi ma'am. If you have no other questions, shall we go for the closing remarks?
Yes, Thomas.
Yes, Thomas, we'll do.
Thank you, Prabhu M of 2009 B.Tech IT for the wonderful webinar talk This talk is the 86th talk in the webinar series held by the SRECAA Alumni Association. Thank you so much. Thank you, Department of Information Technology, Dr. M. Kalayarasu sir and Sendamil Chelvi ma'am for roping in Prabhu for this webinar talk number 86. Thank you so much, audience, for joining us and making this evening a more memorable one. Thank you, alumni friends from all over the globe, especially Anand from US was there. Thank you so much. Thank you, student friends, for being part of this webinar talk. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you, Prabhu. And I'm thankful to Ram Sundar for suggesting Prabhu to be the guest. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you, Ram Sundar.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Thank you,
Ram
sir.
Sundar. Thank you.